All right, let's bring in former Director of Cybersecurity at the White House National Security Council, Iowa Congressman Zach Nunn. Zach, good morning to you. I mean, the details that Cheryl just laid out are stunning and very scary when it comes to the hacking of even former President Trump and J.D. Vance. So tell us more about this cybersecurity threat from China and what can be done to alleviate this issue.
Yeah, Carly, first of all, the scope is large. The very fact that they are going after top officials in the United States, targeted operations, just highlights how extensive they've been able to get into our telecommunications network. Salt Typhoon recognized as the largest deep-seated penetration by Chinese cyber actors into the U.S. telecommunications system ever. And as was highlighted, this has been an ongoing effort, a direct call from Beijing to be able to get access to sensitive information. When I first started off as the first national counterintelligence officer for cyber, our goal was to keep China's hard infrastructure out of ours. This was keeping Huawei, ZTE at arm's length when the rest of the world was buying cheap Chinese-made communication systems. And as a result, even our allies in the UK fell victim to what China was able to do. Since the Chinese weren't able to get in, this now is a result of them finding new ways, and it is very expensive to replace this. But I want to give credit where credit is due. The Chinese haven't been able to get their hard infrastructure into the U.S. We now have to go after those software system upgrades that need to be corrected.
Yeah, you mentioned that it's expensive. Do you think that this $3 billion in funding to remove the Chinese tech equipment will be passed?
I do. We've been able to package it as part of our National Defense Authorization Act. I expect that to be moving forward here in the days ahead. But let me really emphasize, Carly, the challenge here is that if we don't move this forward, working in a public-private sector to find real safeguards for this, the Chinese are going to continue to have unfettered access to some of the most sensitive information, particularly as President Trump's team is set up in its transition, and they are moving on to more secure networks here. We don't want this information falling into enemy hands.